buy that sari which will kind of be equivalent to the saris that every woman in their household they are wearing. So for example, the women of your household wear saris for £50, the women in their household wear saris for £150. Okay? So now what do? Do you buy her a £50 sari and send her to Newcastle? Okay? Do you do that? And that's going to cause a problem. Why is that going to cause a problem? Because everybody's going to be wearing £150 sari. It's going to reflect on you that you're a conjuice, right? Number one. Number two is that your in-laws will probably think that this guy's killing my daughter, right? So there's so many things. So for you, this may be like a tahsinat, an improvement, but your context and your situation demands that it goes up. The priority goes one step higher, and not only is it tahsinat, it actually becomes a haja. Because for you it might be tahsin, but for her it's a need. You see, because she has to be in that society. So these are kind of what the reason why I'm telling you this is because you have to understand that what I'm telling you today, right? These are only guidelines. These are not the be-all and the end-all. Okay, and you can't go around and try implementing everything that Maulana Mansur said and your wife, or this is not a checklist. It's not a checklist that you can, okay, it ticks this, it ticks this, it ticks this. There's no textbook answer. There's no textbook answer. That's why you need these methodological frameworks to at least kind of work out, what is necessary, what is a need, what is improvement, how fluid are the boundaries, what maqasid is going. I mean, people don't think that much, but you've got some kind of hermeneutical tools here. Okay. And also, what you have to understand is that there is no perfect human being. I mean, one of the classical questions that I ask everyone is that if you were a girl or if you were a boy, would you marry yourself? And the answer comes 90% time, hell no. Right? Because you know yourself so much. So if you know that there's so much imperfection in yourself, then what gives you the right to find a spouse who's perfect? You can't. It's the love that and the compatibility and the understanding that kind of that should come. Somebody saw in the books of Arabic literature, it says that Layla is the famous character. She was very, very appalling to look at, and she wasn't very pleasant to look at. She looked like an old hag, but as they say, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So one day somebody saw Majnoon going past the house of Layla, and he was kissing the doors and he was kissing the windows, and he was just madly in love. And somebody said, Ya Majnoon, Inta Wallahi Majnoon, bitahib al-khashab, that you actually fall in love with the building and wood and mortar and bricks. And he basically said, Amurru ala diyari diyari Layla, Amurru ala diyari diyari Layla, fa'uqabbilu dhal jidari wa dhal jidar, fama hubbu diyari sharafna qalbi, walakin hubbu man sakina diyar. And he says that I go past the house of Layla, and I kiss this wall and I kiss this window, but it's not because I'm physically in love with the building, it's because of the person that lives in this house. Okay, so I mean, all of these you have to understand, these are qawaid, right? But qawaid is only there to kind of maintain some kind of decorum. It's there to maintain some kind of justice. But at the end of the day, if two people are in love with each other, then you can throw these out of the window, because you will like to do something. And one of the problems, and I'll mention this later on, one of the problems that happens in the marriage, I mean, you'll see one of the last chapters of this Fiqh marriage is something called chalte means life goes on, we've gone over it, okay, let's get on with it. Okay. Once when I was Imam in Glasgow Central Mosque, this is before I got married, this woman phoned me and she said, Maulana Sahab, I want to ask you a question. I said, what? So, is it true that we're going to be living in paradise with our husbands? I said, yes, sister, you're going to be the queen of all the hoods, and you're going to be on the right side of your husband, and you're going to be like kings and queens. I was giving her the full Monty. Okay, and then she said, but brother, I can't stand the sight of my husband. The only reason I'm living with him is because of my children, I can bear the possibility of living with him for eternity. If that's Jannat, then I don't want to go to Jannat. No. So we also have to be, kind of careful when we kind of give fatwas. But one of the things that I found out is where the problem lies is that when two people are in love, they're on the best behavior. Yeah? They're on the best behavior. They're putting the best cologne and the Armani and whatever Lacoste on. They're wearing their best garments and they're meeting in places, and they're on their best behavior, and they're saying looking into each other's eyes and going on cloud nine and being all flowery and melting in the knees and whatever, right? But once you get married, and then and you're loving each other and you're doing things for the other person. Once you're married, once the honeymoon stage goes away, and then you have the kind of the reality kicks in, and the farting in the bed and the snoring and the smelly armpits and all the bad habits, and where is my breakfast, and then it becomes very self-centered. You see that, oh, she doesn't do this for me, or he doesn't do that, or he doesn't take me out, or he doesn't buy me a sari, or she never makes the breakfast for me. Most of the time, women are fighting for quality time, and men are doing basically, she doesn't do things for me. When it becomes self-centered, when you start thinking about yourself, that's when the stitches start falling. Whereas in the honeymoon period, it was basically you're thinking about the other, you're thinking about the other. That's how it happens. So then, when they start thinking about each other, that's when they get the hidayah and the quduri and these usul al-fiqh books out and say, let's sit down and let's see what's my rights and what's your rights, and let's go through them as tick boxes. Okay? And she basically says, well, my right is in the book. It says that I don't need to cook, I don't need to clean, I don't need to do your washing, I don't need to work, I don't need to do anything. The only thing that I'm demanded to do is make your babies. Okay? And that's what I'm going to do. And if that was in the book, if I was exempt from that, then I probably wouldn't have done that as well. And he goes, okay, that's fine. But don't expect all the saris at Eid. If you're going to go down that line, don't expect all the doner kebabs, and don't expect all the if you can use that. And Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi says, right, that remember, if you've got a tongue, then I've got a tongue as well. So if you're going to go down the hukuk line, then I can also go down the hukuk line. But what does that lead to? Bitterness, feeling, justice. When you go down the adala line, then there is some kind, there is some kind of injustice there as well. So the best line is not go down the justice line, go down the love line. We will look at it more. Is there any questions? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. We'll take a little break now. Wa sallallahu ala ashrafil anbiya. See if there were sisters got any questions, and then we'll take the break.
So I had a question.
Naam.
Apart from just like making the ummah bigger, why is there so much importance around lineage in Islam? Why is there so much importance?
Because it's not only to do with the ummah being bigger, but it's also to do with name and honor in society, and also in the day of judgment. It says that people will be taken to Jannah by the names of their fathers. So you will actually call that if somebody is an alim or somebody is a good person, so he will say that the son of this person, come to Jannah. So there is an importance, because obviously if you don't have a lineage, and if you go around sowing your seed everywhere, then there is going to be kind of ashwa'iyya, there's going to be kind of fasad. You wouldn't know where. There wouldn't be a decorum. There wouldn't be lineage is there so that you maintain some kind of responsibility. If you exactly know who your children are, and you take responsibility for them, then you will have a better society. Whereas if you don't have this marriage, and if you don't have the concept of preservation of lineage, then anybody can go around sowing their seeds anywhere, and you'll have babies mushrooming like rabbits, right? But who's looking after them? And then who's gonna do their tarbiyat? And that will lead to ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر. That will lead to, and this is what's happening in the society. So there's a breakdown of society because people are not, taking their responsibility seriously. Now, is there any questions? Okay, we'll take how much break? 15 minutes break. We'll resume back at 4:30. There's some snacks at the back, and on the women's section as well. There's some snacks as well. So we go into the formal course now. Before everything was on a level of a meta discourse. I've basically